there's a number of things that I wish I knew before I started riding a motorcycle, or even before I bought my first motorcycle. And these are things I think every new rider should know. But one of the things I didn't know that was going to be kind of an important thing was how much gear was going to cost me to ride a motorcycle. Now, it's easy to look. I mean, if you don't wear a lot of gear, it's not going to matter. But I'm the kind of person where I'm all the gear all the time. I bought a jacket on Amazon because I was trying to save some costs because I didn't know if I was going to enjoy motorcycling or not. So I didn't want to spend a lot. The problem with that is I bought this jacket on Amazon that ended up, number one, being too hot for the summertime, and number two, not offering enough protection. So what ended up happening was after that first season of riding, I ended up buying another motorcycle jacket, the one I'm wearing now, and I spent 15 times the amount on this jacket as I did on that Amazon jacket. Now, I really like being frugal, but I also like only having to buy once. Now, there's nothing I could do about having to buy a mesh summer jacket. I still have that jacket. This jacket gets too hot in the summer as well. But this is kind of my all-year jacket, and, buy once. Buy good quality gear that's going to last a long time. Buy protective gear that is actually going to protect you and not just say that it's going to protect you. Oftentimes when it comes to motorcycle gear, you pay for what you get. Having said that, you do pay for a lot of names as well. The other thing I made a mistake on was buying a helmet. I got it into my head that because I wear eyeglasses, I needed a modular helmet. And then I soon after realized that, the modular helmet didn't matter, and I wanted an adventure helmet, so I bought this helmet that I'm wearing now. But again, I got it on a sale. I was trying to cheap out. And then it turns out, I can't even wear the peak with this helmet. This one's more comfortable than my first helmet. But now I've got two helmets that are good for the next number of years. But I'm kind of stuck with them unless I want to buy a third helmet. Right? So what I should have done was just bought one helmet right the first time, done a little bit more research, which is crazy because I normally do a lot of research, but I was also trying to save some money. The number two thing I kind of wish I knew was how much it was going to cost to operate a motorcycle. And when I say that, I did have friends telling me not to buy, an older motorcycle like from the 70s or something that was going to need a lot of maintenance. But I actually didn't know how much maintenance a motorcycle was going to need, from just maintaining the chain, adjusting the chain, oil changes, how fast and how much tires were going to cost. And of course, I made the mistake of taking a motorcycle in to get new tires on my first motorcycle, and it cost me an arm and a leg. Right, so I'm learning from that. So beginner riders, just go into this knowing that it's going to cost you a bit of money to maintain a motorcycle. Even doing your own oil changes. Oil changes on a motorcycle are actually quite expensive compared to a car for the amount of oil you're putting in there. So just keep in mind, this is not just buy a motorcycle and ride it and forget it, which I guess you could, but then you're not going to be taking care of the motorcycle. Another thing I kind of wish I had known ahead of time, that just because I got my motorcycle license didn't mean my motorcycle journey stopped there. And when I say that, I mean my learning journey. This is continuing education riding a motorcycle. You really need to keep your skills up and continue to practice, even if that just means practicing in a parking lot now and then, doing some slow speed things. Now, I want to pay for more courses I've yet to do, so I want to do some off-road courses, but they are expensive. Courses out here generally begin at about $1,000, and if they're local, that's one thing, but now if I have to travel for it, that's another thing. So it's hard to justify that money, but it's hard not to justify spending that kind of money. Continuing practice, keep your skills up. Kind of a fourth thing that I wish I'd known, and this is a big one. That is, no one told me how enjoyable motorcycling was going to be. Everybody said they liked motorcycling. yeah, they liked motorcycling. They liked having their motorcycle. Nobody told me how exhilarating it would feel, how mentally refreshing it would feel, how therapeutic it is to ride a motorcycle, and just the overall wonderful feeling of going for a ride and then even coming back and just feeling refreshed. No one told me that. And I'll tell you, one of the first things I do when people ask me about riding is I will tell them how awesome it is and how good it makes me feel. It is just crazy that no one told me that. I think if maybe someone had told me that 30 years ago and they were like, listen, you've got to ride. Now, it's either that or maybe people did tell me that and it went one ear out the other over my lifetime, because I just thought, yeah, like how good could it be? It's just a motorcycle, I could drive a car. It's not the same as driving a car. You know, yes, I'm wearing a helmet, yes, I'm wearing gear, but being out here, being this close to the road, flying by, being close, smelling the forest, even on the highway, it is just the most incredible feeling that I can't even articulate how wonderful the feeling of riding a motorcycle is. Now, having said that, I'm talking about riding a motorcycle for pleasure. I don't like riding it for commuting. I don't like riding it in heavy traffic. But out here in the mountains, this is amazing. Another thing, and this is back to cost of things, nobody told me that I was going to end up wanting to accessorize the motorcycle or add things that were missing. And what I mean by that, my first motorcycle, I ended up putting on new mirrors, I ended up putting heated grips, hand guards, luggage rack, a rally dash, new foot pegs, new shifter, new bags, quick release plate for those bags. By the time it was all said and done, you know, I thought I was buying a reasonably priced motorcycle. By the time it was all said and done with after accessories, you know, I was into the motorcycle for over $1,500 on top of what I paid. I wish somebody had told me that and just said, hey, stop. Oh, I should probably come back and get gas here. Nobody told me, you know, like, hey, buy a motorcycle with all this stuff that you think you might want first, because you're going to end up wanting it, you're going to end up spending the money in the end. So that was really new to me. So I hope this helps you if you're starting riding, or maybe you're getting back into riding, and maybe you've forgotten, you know, either what it feels like to ride a motorcycle or the cost of things. But just know, there's not a barrier to riding a motorcycle. Don't think that because you have to spend money, you have to stop. Just think of it this way. All the money you spend is going to go towards that thing I said about how good it feels to ride a motorcycle. Keep that in mind. This is the most amazing feeling. It is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. I wish people had told me that, but I don't regret it. I wouldn't have changed anything. I would not have, it wouldn't have stopped me from learning to ride a motorcycle if someone told me all about this. Especially if you told me how good it would make me feel. Thank you for watching. Take care and ride safe.